everyone. Welcome. If this is your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbit, allow me to say welcome. If it's not the first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, still want to say welcome. But I want to add a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning in to Tim's Tidbits. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. I get on Algo's internet every single day, and we talk about the price action, dealing with the S&P 500. You might ask yourself, why? Why get on Al Gore's internet every day and talk about the price action? It's because I want to help someone like you get your aha. Yes, that aha moment when it comes to reading the price action. Because no matter if you're a long-term investor, all the way down to a day trader, or matter of fact, all the way down to a scalper. Somebody just nibbling and scalping. The smallest little moves in the market. Reading the price action will take your trading skills to the next plateau, if you will. More like next stratosphere. But when you get that aha moment when it comes to reading the price action, the game is going to change. Trust me. And if that sounds like something you want to learn how to do, or you want to get your aha moment, just tap in with us every day. Once in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and once in the evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, every single day. Come hang out with us. We're on our way to 2,500 subscribers. That's our goal. We're almost there. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you have subscribed, go and share it with everyone you know. Say, hey, come over here. I really enjoy this content. The guy that runs the show, he's a little weird, but the content is magnificente. And with that being said, let's get into it, man. Before we get into it, I was supposed to shout out somebody. I think it was a new member, Captain Kirk. We shouted out Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was a new member. We had a few members that got a fancy dancy, like a fancy dancy, what you call it, badge. They got a fancy dancy badge. Let me go look. I'm trying to find it here. YouTube Studio. We're at 2,111 subscribers. I thank you all. If you have subscribed, please do so. Members. There it is. Members. Keep your members coming. Raw hide. There we go. Yes. Captain Kurt was the newest member, and we shouted him out and shared the screen. Like I said, Captain Kurt was the newest member. We shouted him out. But what I want to go back and give my really deepest heartfelt respect and appreciation for. See these guys here, guys and females here, from Kareem, Miss J, MJ, Cool It, Rhonda, Here to Learn and Share, Little Hawk, Angela. Why am I shouting them out again? Because if you notice, you see their name, they have a fancy dancy different badge. It has a circle with a star in it. And you say, what's so exciting about that, Tim? Well, let me explain what's exciting about that. That means that they are active members for longer than 1 month. longer than 1 month. And what does that mean? What does an active member mean? An active member is someone who is supporting the channel financially with their hard-earned cash, and they have done so for more than a month. That means they joined the membership, right? Paid the initial monthly fee to join the membership, and then they did it for longer than a month. Active members for more than a month. And once the further they go, then their membership will, their their badges will change, right? So when you see somebody with a badge, matter of fact, where's the badges? Where are the badges? I don't know where it is right now. Anyway, let's get to the show. If I find it, then I'll come back and share it at the end of the show. Move out of the way. Let's go over here to Al Gore's internet and let's go see our friend Spilene. For those who don't know who our friend Spilene is, that is the S&P 500, the ETF that tracks the performance of the ETF, of the S&P 500, the SPY, if you will. And around here, we called her Spilene. We even wrote a song. You want to hear it? Here it go. Spilene, where you at, baby? Here I go. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad that you came through. Spilene, look what you done do. What did you do, Spilene? What did you do? Oh, Spilene, what did you do? What did you do, Spilene? What did you do? Okay, looking at Spilene, what did we do? All right. Friday, we got all the way up as high as $408.16. That was the tippy top of Friday's price action, right? We closed Friday at $405.68, right? And then, as we discussed with the Black Spiders and the Gold members on Sunday, we were discussing that the price action was showing that it wanted to get up here. All right, it wanted to get up here, taking out this December high, right? This December 13th high, and possibly even getting over here to our liquidity. I'm sorry, y'all thought I heard something. To our liquidity that we've been looking at for a long time, and that's the reason why we changed our eyeball from black to red, because we've been waiting on it for so long that the eye needs Visine now. We've been looking at the liquidity like this. Without blinking. And so the eye need Visine now. All right. So in order to get there, we say, okay, how do we plan on getting there? We said, okay, we're going to come down, right? We're going to come down to go up. We said that'll be nice, healthy price action. We're looking at the SPY right now, but we're going to move over to the ES, right? And then today, lo and behold, we gapped down a long ways, right? The SPY closed at 405.68. And then today, we opened up at 402.80, right? We gapped down a long ways, almost $3, right? We, at some point during the day, we rallied, got as high as 405.13, right? Went as low as 428, and we closed at 459, right? Looking at this candle right here on the SPY, what type of day, as I see an eyeball in the chat, what type of day would you say today was, just looking at the candle here, an ICT term, if you will? And while I wait to see if somebody puts it in the chat, we're going to flip over here to the ES, and I'm going to see, I see Robinson wrote something. So I already know it's probably got something slick. Wait. What? What did he say? I can't wait for my fancy dot on my light blue background. Wait, on second thought, I like my dark blue badge. What day do I have to cancel? Yes, that it is a retracement of a sort. It is a bearish day of a sort. Not just yet. It's not a SIBI just yet. A red day. Get off my line. Not turtle soup, right? Not turtle soup, right? Here we go, looking at the same thing, looking at this candle right here. What type of day? Not just yet. It's not a SIBI yet. Not Power 3. There you go. There you go. Here to learn and share. Power 3 day. They just not yet part. What do I need to complete the SIBI? Yeah. To complete the SIBI tomorrow, we would need to tomorrow we'll need to close without getting back up to this up to Friday's low. If tomorrow closes without on the SPY, if tomorrow closes on the SPY and doesn't get back up to 403.44, give my line. Okay. All right. So if tomorrow's candle close and doesn't get back up to at least 403.44, right, then this could be a SIBI, because there will be a fair value gap there with one big continuous. Like, just say if we opened up right here and went from equilibrium, if we went from like 459 and then closed down here at 398, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just close down here. Then we would have a fair value gap right there with one continuous red candle, and then that would make it a SIBI. A SIBI is a category of a fair value gap, right? The SIBI is the type of fair value gap. Think about like you have the fair value gap is a Chevrolet, right? The fair value gap is a Chevrolet, right? But the SIBI is a Suburban, and the BISI is a Tahoe. Both of them are Chevrolets, but one is a Suburban and one is a Tahoe, right? The SIBI and the BISI, both of them are fair value gaps, but one is a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, or SIBI, and one is a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, or a BISI, right? Meaning you're only offering buy side, so it's a buy side imbalance, and it's a inefficiency of the sell side, right? and it's a sell side imbalance because you only offering sell side, and it's an inefficiency of the buy side. Sibby, Bissy. Now the power three is the accumulation, manipulation, and distribution pertaining to the price action, right? And with the power three, you can look at it on a session scale, or a daily scale, or a weekly scale, or a monthly scale, yearly scale. It's all fractal. But just think about it on the daily scale and the session scale, right? So on the daily scale for the power three, if you're bearish, which we had this morning when we was on the live, I was talking about, I said, if price get back above the midnight open, right, that's the equilibrium of the drop that we have made. I said I need price to get back above the equilibrium before I'm interested in shorting it, right? And if we get back above equilibrium for today, that was going to put us up there at the midnight open, giving us a very high probability to get a power three day to the downside. And why did I say that? Because on the power three day, you want to see the accumulation, and then you want to see the manipulation. The manipulation is make for a sell day. You want to see it make a run above the midnight open, right? And then drop off and then close toward the low of the day. On a power three to the upside day, you want to see the accumulation happen, and then you want to see the manipulation make a run below the midnight open, and then take off and close near the high. So that's the power three: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And then the SIBI and the BISI are just fair value gaps. It's just different types of fair value gap, different categories of fair value gaps. Is SIBI other terms distribution cycle power? I don't know what that means right there, but hopefully I answered your question. Ruben. Hey, Ruben, you must be new here. Hey, man, let's go over here and look at the price action. We've been on here 18 minutes. Let's look at the price action. In the words of the homie say, who's shorting? Who's shorting? Hey, man, if you wasn't on the live this morning, we talked about this right here. We sold off, right? Now that that's out of the way, let's run the fibs again, right? Going from this high all the way down to this low. That was the overnight low we were looking at. And as we come here, as we spoke about today, this morning, I said we had already taken out the sell side liquidity that was resting below Friday's low. We had already got all the way down to the bottom of the daily fair value gap that we were looking at on Sunday on the weekend chart prep, when we were saying, hey, healthy price action would be to come down to, click this over. Healthy price action to get up to, let me just do it over here because you can see it better. All right. Healthy price action to get up here to the buy side liquidity, that this was like where it seems like the algo is trying to get to. We've been coming up ever since January the 6th. January the 9th, really. January 9th, we broke outside of this consolidation right here. And then we've just been, working our way up. Look like all eyes on this this December 13th high right here. And this is our box top right there. So healthy price action to get to this buy side liquidity, and our ultimate target, we said, would be to come back down to this daily fair value gap right here. right? We also got a daily or bullish order block right here, and then start to proceed up, right? We also said we had a weekly order block resting below that we could potentially come down to, and if we came down to the mean threshold or just below the mean threshold of this weekly order block, that would give us down to consequent encroachment on this long wick right there. We said all of that right there was a possibility to get down to there to propel off of. That's what we talked about on Sunday. We're looking for that to propel off of that. If we slide past that, right? If we slide past this order block, past the consequent encroachment of this wick, past the mean threshold of the order block and get down here, right? That does not negate the bullishness. That will just make little Timmy Rogers sit on the sideline until we see what happens after we take out the sell side liquidity below this low right here, right? That would just, if we came here and did not bounce, it just kept sliding. Okay, I want to see what we do when we take out this sell side, right? What do we do when we take out the sell side? Because we can very well come down and close in this fair value gap that we left and get back down to this order block right here, right? And if we came all the way down to this order block, right, then this green candle right here, right, that green candle right there, it will become a voided, a used up mitigation block, right? And once you use it, we will expect that to be what? Resistance, right? We would expect this candle right here, which would be a used up mitigation block, coming back up. We would expect that to act as resistance to keep price down. So just want to put that out there for anybody who did not know. All right, going back to what we were saying, that's what we was talking about, was healthy price action. Woke up this morning, it was all the way down here at the bottom of the fair value gap that we was looking at, saying we want to see it trade back down to. It got all the way back down there in the morning. So then we was like, okay, it's a bearish day. It's already at the bottom of the fair value gap. Let's look for some reason to sell. But the only way I want to join the party of selling is because I want to get back above this equilibrium right here. I want to get back above this equilibrium. Did we come from? Yes, we did. We came from that low. Yes, we did. We came from this low. We didn't go all the way up there. We didn't go all the way up there. We could have gone all the way up there, but I think we went from here. Either way, if we went from all the way up there, it put us in the same ballpark, because that's the entire move of that leg, right? That's the entire move of that leg. It got back above 50%. It got back above midnight, and it hit the volume imbalance from the gap down, right? From the Sunday gap down. That's the total volume imbalance from the Sunday gap down, because we gap down from there to there. That's the complete gap down, and it's still a volume imbalance there because we didn't, you know what I'm saying, we ain't got no counter bodies that's overlapping right here, right? So that whole volume imbalance, we marked that out. And then the midnight, we pointed out how the midnight, if we got above midnight, right, not only was it a good opportunity to short, but it was a good opportunity to set up for a potential power 3 day. And I put out there, I said, be careful. We have already set up for the perfect power 3 day to the upside. So be careful. And I was like, once we got up here past the 50% and the New York Open, that's when I said, okay, we're in my area that I said I want to short. All the way up, I was saying, look, be careful, because the price is being very careful not to leave any imbalances on the way up, right? When it was on the 15-minute here, when we got all the way up here, right, we got a Sibby and a Bissy right across from each other. And I was like, be careful, because when we leave this area, the market can either say, hey, I don't want to go back down there and use this as a balanced price range and bounce off of it, or the market can just cut through it because it's already a balanced price range and it needs not to do anything with it anymore, right? Said this repeatedly today, right? What constitutes a balanced price range, right? Glad you asked that question, little Timmy Rogers. Well, little Timmy Rogers really didn't answer it. Ask it. He was about to ask it, but somebody else did. But I always give credit to little Timmy Rogers, right? So we offer a balanced price range is where you offer sell side and buy side liquidity throughout an entire range, meaning price goes down, price goes up, price goes. There's no imbalances left untouched. There's no gaps. There's no fair value gaps. There's no kind of imbalance that's left untouched in an area. And then a nice telltale sign that the area is potentially balanced out is when you have a SIBI and a BISI opposite of each other right around the price range that you're looking at. And when price leaves that area to the upside or the downside, it's a potential balanced price area that the algos will use as support, or they will use it as resistance. You know what I'm saying? They either use it as support when it takes off and come back and bounce off of it, or resistance when it takes off to the bottom side and come back and bounce off of it to the downside, or when it takes off from it and trades back through it, then come back to it and use it as resistance. You know what I'm saying? As you see down here, but it's going to be used as support or resistance. This is what ICT coins as true support and resistance. When a PD array, a balanced price range, or something is being used as support and resistance, right? In contrast to, you know what I'm saying, like people like myself in my younger days who would look back and get a trend line and run it across all these closed candles over here and try to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches, get as many touches as possible, and put a trend line right across these lows right here, just touch as many bodies as possible. And then when price like comes to it, you be like, hey, that support, that resistance is really holding up, right? And I'm thinking, oh, see my trend line right here, so it's coming up here rejecting off of my resistance. No, buddy, it's rejecting off of this fair value gap right here, this SIBI, right? The algos came down and they took off away from that area because they ready to go from there, and they don't need to go back above. They left that fair value gap and that order block there for a reason. I don't want to go right there right now. I'll go back and take care of that later, right? Come down, do what it need to do, right? And when it get back to that area, take off with a BISI, right? Take off with a BISI in the same area. Okay, I'm going to shoot past here. Now, this order block down here is now a breaker. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to come back down, bounce off it. Then I'm going to shoot back down. And now that this breaker, right, this bullish breaker that I bounced off of once, now that I've traded back down through it, now I'm going to use this as resistance. It has nothing to do with your little trend line that you ran across over here. I'm coming back up to this breaker that I traded back down through. This was a bullish breaker that I traded through, and now I'm using that breaker as resistance. Boop, I bumped my head on it. 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 I'm tired of bumping my head. I'm out of here. Right? Just like that. That's how the price works. That's what we talked about. We went up here. We actually, I don't trade on Mondays. I fought with the temptation of taking the trade live because it just got too tantalizing to me, right? But I didn't. I stayed the course. And once we broke this low over here, that was the low that I want to see us break. Why did I want to see us break that low, right? If we drop down to the 5-minute chart right there, on the 5-minute chart, I want to see us break this low over here in this area, because when this piece of the price leg here went up and went all the way up above the midnight and hit that volume imbalance from the gap down, the Sunday gap, whatever you want to call it. When we went up and hit that Sunday gap, right? I said for this bullishness to keep up, we need to get above this Sunday gap, right? Just disrespect this Sunday gap and then give me a setup to the upside for me to believe in this bullishness. If we do not, I still say I'm going to go short because I said it from the beginning of the day when the price was all the way down here somewhere. I want to participate in the short once we get back up above this 50%, right? Once price went above the 50%, we hit the gap, we came back down, and this right here, the break of this low right over here, that was the break in market structure for me, right? Let me explain the difference between what I call the shift in sentiment and the break in market structure, right? So looking over here at this, there's your low. This is the 1 minute chart. There's your low right there that I needed broken before I was ready to go in, right? So we get our run up. We look for price to get up above equilibrium, which was right here around the London Open. We want to see if it got above equilibrium, was it going to start giving me a setup to the downside, right? We get above equilibrium, it's still showing bullish, right? Still showing bullish. We even was watching for, I don't like trade against the grain, but we were watching to see if it was a possibility to go long. Wasn't giving up nothing to try to go long, right? We got up above the midnight. So, okay, let's see if we get a reversal sign. It's looking very chumpalicious right now, right? When we started coming down here, right? You see this long, elongated count, like it moved with some authority, right? We came out here. This pretty good too, right? That was a pretty good one there too, right? If you blink, you would have missed it, right? But you see this, like we kind of consolidated for a couple minutes, and then we went pang out real hard, closed down there, and we left a tiny imbalance right there, right? It's all of 2 ticks, right? That right there, right? You see this little swing low here? You see this little swing low here? I call that a shift in sentiment, right? I call that a shift in sentiment. Why do I call that a shift in sentiment? Okay, this piece of the price leg right here on the uptrend, right? We came up, we went down, right? We got multiple candles down. We came up, we went down. We came up, we consolidated. We came up, we went down. Multiple candles down. We came up, we consolidated. We went down. We came up. This is a new piece of the price leg. We got multiple candles down, moving down with some aggression. Got a nice little potential balanced price range over here. Got a BISI and a SIBI right across from each other. Pang out! We take off. We leave that area, right? So now this area right here, right, is a potential balanced price range. I want to see the algorithm use this as support, or I want to see it below pass it, then use it as resistance, right? So back to the shift in sentiment. This piece of the price leg, this low right here, took out this high, right? When you get a low that takes out a high, right? That is the starting of ICT's what, right? When you get a low that takes out a high, that's the first piece of ICT's what? Somebody put it in the chat for me, right? We coming up, you know what I'm saying? We coming up to a point, then we come down and we get a low that takes out a high. That's the first piece of what, right? Let me know how I can help. Angela is a beast. With it also, she's shown me some things I wasn't even aware of. Oh, y'all talking in chat. Yes, thank you. You and your mentor going over the same thing, Tim. Oh, ICT talking about this. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Michelle Tucker. Thank you. Here to learn to share break. That's the makings of the breaker, right? You came up to a high. This low took out that high. That's the makings of the breaker, right? The shift in sentiment, I call it the shift in sentiment. It's literally a break in market structure, but I'm explaining why I call it the shift in sentiment in a minute, right? ICT will use this shift in sentiment right here as an early entry with anticipation of this being a breaker, right? This early shift in sentiment here, meaning you have come up to a point of a higher time frame PD array. You have come up to a point and you're expecting a shout out to Wave Trader. You're expecting a turtle soup. This is a turtle soup sale, but you're expecting a turtle soup because you have a higher time frame PD array, right? Now you stacking blocks. We got bankroll going so strong. We put stacks on stacks on stacks. We put stacks on stacks on stacks. We stacking the information, right? So we have already scoped out higher time frame PD array. I'm expecting some resistance from, right? Prices going up, 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 right? Price going up. So now we get this low that take out this high and it smacks up against what? That higher time frame PD array we expect to act as resistance. So now our antennas pop up. I'm looking for the turtle soup sale, right? Risky Roger and Reckless Rachel will just go short when it gets above that high and smacks that higher time frame PD array resistance. They would just go short right there. But little Timmy Rogers is waiting for the down confirmation. And now that you see it's the potential makings of a breaker, because you got a low that took out a high and then smacked his head up against a higher time frame PD array that we're expecting to act as resistance. And it's also in the, hey, where'd my fib go? Did I delete my fib? When did I delete my fib? And it's above, it's in the premium. It's up here in the premium. So all of this bankroll going so strong, we got stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. We stacking all this stuff up, right? And so now we're looking for the turtle soup. And then right here at this shift in sentiment, right, which is just a break in market structure. The difference between Lil Timmy Rogers shift in sentiment and break in market structure is the shift in sentiment is a BMS or break in market structure within the price leg that took out the high. This piece of the price leg right here took out the high. This break in market structure is contained within this price leg, right? I don't count it as a true break in market structure until we take out that low that took out that high. Once we take out that low that took out that high and then make this a qualified breaker, now that's my break in market structure. Once we take out that low, now I'm on the lower time frame looking for my fair value gap to go short off of. And today we use this fair value gap right here on the 1 minute, right? We called it out before price went back to it. I didn't trade it live, but because I don't trade on Mondays, this is what I was fighting with, not taking, because it was so tantalizing and tempting, right? And when we say, hey, if we get back here, we're gonna put it right at the bottom of the fair value gap in case they hit us with a institutional order flow entry drill, which I thought they was going to do. Which I thought it was going to do right there on that first candle that hit it. If I can get back to it, if you notice on this 1029 candle, it'll be the 10. God dog it, it'll be the 1028 candle on Thinkorswim or TradingView. So when you click in the wrong spot, it'll like jump all over the place on you, right? If you notice right there, you see how that 10 1029 candle, that'd be the 1028 candle. You see how it poked up into that thing and then wicked back off of it. That right there is the institutional order flow entry drill, and I thought it was going to hit us with that and take off, right? So when we took the trade here, we put our stop in a educated spot, right? Where we put our stop was, right, we came up here to this order block that price had already visited. With this order block, we went up to this order block, hit it, and wicked off of it hard, right? So I put the stop. I said the stop is going to be right here at where we put it at 46, this 467, I think, because the entry was at 4062, right? So the stop was at 4067, and that was just above the mean threshold of this order block. Why did we put the stop there? Because this order block, right, this bearish order block right here had already come up to this order block and wicked down. So I felt safe about putting it at the mean threshold. That's the lowest amount of risk I was willing to take, the mean threshold of this order block right here. If it blasts through there, I want it to be wrong quick, but I didn't want to just say, I'm going to give it a small stop and put it right here, try to play a real small stop and or put it right here on this order block, because why? We can always revisit wicks. I ain't going to hold you. When this candle right here took off, I said, man, it looked like it's fun to get took out immediately, right? But look where price went to. Wick for wick with this long wick of this order block that came up here and touched this order block and wicked off of it. Pushed up, went wick for wick. It was taking off and it said, oh, wait, yeah, I already went that way. I don't need to go that way yet. That's why I left this long wick at where this order block. That's my stopping point. Now, let's go. Right? And we talked about all this on the live. Right? We talked about all this on the live as it was playing out, and it was a successful trade. But that's the difference between the shift in sentiment for me, right? The shift in sentiment can be like ICT used these as early entries when he's anticipating this breaker to set up. This low, take out this high, hit a higher time frame, PD array or whatever, you know what I'm saying, where he's expecting a turtle soup. Once he get the shift in sentiment right here, coming back down, he'll use that as an early entry, right? Once we come down and get a true breaking market structure, he'll use another fair value gap or imbalance or whatever you want to call it as a point to add on. You know what I'm saying? He'll add as he get the official breaking market structure and add on, and as he target. Oh, and then our exit was the equal lows down here. It was just below the equal lows at no, right here. These equal lows right here. It was just below these equal lows at 52. It was a 10-point exit. Those equal lows was the target, right? And then because before we even got into the trade, I was talking about how gun to my head, we was coming down to take out some low somewhere. I can't remember where it is now, but we talked about it. I was like, the market setting up to try to bounce, but gun to my head, I think we come to take out this low right here, right? That's what I was saying. Gun to my head, we coming for these lows. We didn't quite make it there, right? We came very close. We hit the rejection block and stopped, but it did get below equilibrium. And shout out Marcia. Marcia was talking about how this would be a low resistance liquidity run when we were like up here somewhere today. We was up here somewhere today. We had already took out this low. She was like, if price continues to sell off with this low over here from the 26, would that be considered a low resistance liquidity run? And I was like, hey, you got the eye of the tiger. Go ahead and do your thing, Marcia. You got the eye of the tiger. That's a low resistance liquidity run, because where we were, there was more stuff to fight through above price to get to this buy side than it was to get to this sell side. And with that is, we've been 45 minutes. I yield my time. Let me go to the chat and see if we talk about anything. Will you please make that a gym? The power of 3. Yes, I will. I shorted, but it was DR IDR. Hey, Robinson, y'all, I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even, it's like I was on the DR IDR heavy, but it's like I don't feel like learning nothing new. It's fine. It's been like me back testing it. It was fine, but I just don't feel like learning nothing new. I'm like, man, I don't feel like learning nothing new. What's up, Cooler? How you doing? Yep, he is. Robinson killing it with the DRIDR. It's like I just don't feel like learning nothing new. And you remember I used to talk about it like every night. I pull it up and look at, man. I just don't feel like learning nothing new. I'm glad Robinson said this right here. Right, I'm glad he said this right here. I don't know what all he said, but this one piece right here. He says it just fits my eye. It just fits my eye. That's 3 gems in 4 quarters. It just fits my eye. No matter what Lil Timmy Rogers do, no matter what ICT do, no matter what anybody do, right? If the concepts don't make sense in your mind, you will not be able to use those concepts and be consistently profitable. Anybody can get lucky by just doing something and not really knowing what you're doing and getting a win here and there. If the concept does not make sense in your mind, you will not be able to use it and be consistently profitable. It has to fit your eye, in the words of Robinson. It has to fit your eye. And not only does it have to fit your eye, it has to fit your trading identity. If you're fighting with your trader identity to make something work, no matter how much money Michael Huddleston makes using his techniques, if his techniques don't fit your trader identity, you will not be consistently profitable using his methods. I'm sorry. I'm just here to keep it 100 with you. You hear me? Appreciate that, Robinson. Appreciate that, Jim. Do we have anything else in the chat? Oh, ICT live right now? He live on what? YouTube or Twitter? Playboy Trey say he love the breakers. Angela say the DRIDR gives her more clarity on price action with ICT concepts. She putting stacks on stacks on stacks, stacks on stacks on stacks. I know they be saying racks on racks in the song, by the way. I know what they be saying. Preaching tonight. Let's get these likes up. I appreciate that, Robinson. Do what works for you. Yeah, hear me. Algo, I've never seen his name before. If you'd have been here before, I truly jolly pies. But I'm just gonna say Algo because I ain't gonna try to say that. Y'all know I'm gonna try to say it. Aficionado. Algo aficionado. I think I got that right. Algo aficionado. Okay, Tim, I only just recently discovered your channel. I knew you was new here. But I've been an ICT student for 6+ months now, but some of your videos has helped me tremendously. Algo, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Hey, I'm just a dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida that learned something that changed my life, and I just explained it in the way that Lil Timmy Rogers is this voice that lives inside of my head. That's the way Lil Timmy Rogers understand it. So, Lil Timmy Rogers, Algo says thank you. He says you're welcome. Oh, he on YouTube. Oh, he's done. He just finished. Okay, I'm gonna have to run it back. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm supposed to be on here for 30 minutes, and I'm a bit. Oh, let me make a note. Here, Michelle said. I lost the thing. Will you please make that a gem? Power 3. When I was talking about power 3, make that a gem. Michelle, I'm making a note. I will do that. Make power 3 gem. Gotcha. It's wrote very sloppy, but I know what it says. See that? Make power 3 gem. See how ugly it look? But I know what it says. Look here. Y'all already know what it is. Yes, welcome, Algo aficionado. Y'all know what it is, man. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can say today. When we was on live yesterday, everybody, was that yesterday or today? Whenever it was, when we was on live, and I think it was yesterday, and I happened to open up YouTube and I saw the thing about Ricky Smiley's son. I'm like, oh my God. It you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know when death gonna come knocking on your door. Don't nobody know. So don't put off till tomorrow what you can say today. Don't be like little Timmy Rogers and be like, hey, girls, we're going to go see Granddaddy next week. We're going to drive across the bridge. I got to get back home. I got to go to work tomorrow. We'll go see him next weekend. We'll go see him next weekend. Hey, Tim, Daddy ain't make it out of surgery. Oh, my God. Next weekend ain't going to never come. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can say today. Tell the people that you love them today. Don't just say it. Don't just show it. Say it, show it, and confirm it. Because I just like to share it with you from my real life. I thought I was showing my kids that I loved them and I was here for them. They can rely on me forever. I was here to support them. And both my teenage sons felt like they had to get all the way out my house at the age of 18. I had never verbalized this ever. I have never told another one of my children they had to get out my house at a certain age. But for some reason, they was under the impression that when they turned 18, they had to be out that door. I thought I was doing a good job letting them know that they was loved and they was always welcome here. But something about the way I was showing it was telling a totally different story. So don't just say it. Don't just show it. Say it, show it, and confirm it. And when you say it in their love language so that they can receive the love that you're giving. Because if you're showing love to someone who need words of affirmation, if you're showing your love in physical touch, they may just think you're a freak or you just touchy-feely for no reason, but they're never going to receive that love that you're trying to show them because you're not showering them with words of affirmation. Speak in their love language when you're trying to show that you love them, so that they can receive it. If your parents are still living, call them up, tell them, hey, mama, hey, dad, I love you. If you got grown kids that don't live with you, they may not answer the phone because mine don't, unless they need money. Now, the youngest girl, she'll answer the phone. The oldest one, she'll never answer the phone, but when she do get on the phone, I can't get off the phone. All right, baby, daddy, love you 22 times, but I'm not complaining because I love them dearly. Prayers to all the Spider Gang members who have lost loved ones recently or in the past. It don't matter how long ago you lost them. Because I tell people all the time, when you lose someone that you love, it never gets easier. We just learn how to stop crying. We just learn how to move on. The thought of them not being here may not bring a tear to our eye every time. One may drop every now and then. We just learn how to stop crying and move on. It never goes away. I appreciate y'all for the prayers. My brother's doing well. I appreciate y'all for the prayers when I found out by Steve. That one hit me hard. And I keep y'all in my prayers too, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We family. You hear me? I see y'all in the morning at 9 o'clock for the overnight price. Action. Enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Gone.